right.
What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back, and we're here with our Week 13 power rankings. Pretty competitive so far. Last week was, kind of a lot of upsets, a lot of weird games. Didn't really see them coming. But this week, we got a lot of interesting games and teams ranked, and of course, we got to start with the Lions at last. It's just probably going to happen for the remainder of the year as they lost on an 8-minute drive by Chicago on Thanksgiving to kick a field goal. And now they get the Vikings coming off of a loss. It's probably just going to be another loss for the Lions. So expect them here next week.
Yep. At number 31, we got the Texans coming down from that loss off the Jets. Tough loss, kind of a garbage game though. They're fighting for that number 2 or 3 overall pick because that number 1's locked in with the Lions basically.
30th, we got the Jaguars. Tough loss against the Falcons, and now you get to go to LA. Not looking like a high win percentage there for the Jaguars this week.
At number 29, we got the ugly Seattle Seahawks. Just came off a very ugly loss against the Washington football team on Monday Night Football. Next week they got the Niners, and it's looking like another loss for them this week. So they're full on in tank mode this year.
At 28th, we got the New York Jets, and it's kind of weird seeing them above 30, just because normally how they normally are. But good win against Houston last week. Now they got Philly, and it could be an interesting game, because both teams do like to run the ball. And it'll just be interesting to see how Zach Wilson, gets healthier and competes more in the league.
At 27, we got the Giants. Good win against the Eagles this week. I wasn't expecting that. Good defensive game. Playing at 4-7 this week, they got the Dolphins. If they can somehow get a win, they could fight for that spot, especially just beating the Eagles. That 7th wildcard spot.
26th, we got those Bears. I feel like we can't move them up because they beat the Lions. Like, it's not that impressive of a win. And it took you 59 minutes and 58 seconds to get the lead and win. But now they got to go against the Cardinals at home. And it could be an intriguing matchup just because it's more than likely going to snow and be really cold in Chicago. And you got Arizona, coming all the way from the warm weather. So something to look for in this matchup, and could be a possible upset brewing.
At number 25, we got the Panthers. Kind of an ugly loss against the Dolphins. Couldn't stop anything. I started them in fantasy, their defense, so not a good week at all. But next week they do get a bye, so they can get healthy. Cam can get his head on straight again and maybe make a playoff push. Most likely not, but never know.
And we have those Dolphins who it seems like have ripped off 3 straight wins. And now they got just another low-end team in the Giants and could make it 4 and make the AFC really interesting, them going forward. And, yeah, they're only 24th right now with the 5-7 record, but they're definitely playing a lot better than you would see.
At number 23, we got the Falcons. Kind of a they just played the Jaguars, one of the worst teams in football. So not too much of an impressive win this week. They do have the Buccaneers next week. It's gonna be a really tough game, especially on the road. So weird to think the Falcons are actually are they in the lead in the 7th wildcard spot right now?
I think they're 1 back. Well, I think they're even because the Vikings hold the tiebreaker. But yeah. And then you got the Eagles who are half a game back in the NFC for the wild card. Tough loss against the Giants last week. But look, they, should get it back on track here going against the Jets this week.
Number 21, we got the Washington football team. I believe that was their 3rd straight win as well, along with the Dolphins. So pretty impressive. They've been playing a lot better football. Antonio Gibson's been running the ball a lot, and he's got good matchups down the stretch. So look for this team to win some games down the stretch. It could start next week against the Raiders.
And at 20th, we got your Steelers off an ugly loss to the Bengals. And I don't really expect them to get back on track this week either, as they got the Ravens who had a tough win last Sunday against the Browns. And, with Lamar coming off of 4 picks, and even though they still got the win, really shows that this Ravens team is actually really good this year. And I expect the Steelers, not to maybe contend for a little bit, but definitely going to be an interesting game here. As the Steelers pretty much are in a must-win mode already.
And at number 19, we got the Saints. Blowout loss this week against the Bills. This week they got the Cowboys. They're kind of been hurting ever since Trevor Siemian has taken over quarterback. I think they've lost 4 straight, or maybe even 5 straight now. But they look to get it back on track this week against the Cowboys. I don't see it happening personally. I think the Cowboys are going to get back on track. So sit with the Saints.
And at 18th, we got the Denver Broncos, who came off of an impressive victory against the Chargers, and now they're going to look to do it again and take, I believe, the division lead if they win this game against the Chiefs. And definitely probably the most interesting division so far this year, as you got all 4 teams really making a push for the lead. And, the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers are all 6-5. So, the Chiefs just have that half game advantage, I believe. And we'll go from there going down the stretch.
At number 17, we got the 6-6 Cleveland Browns. They're kind of all over the place right now, spiraling out of control. They don't really have a quarterback. I think they've decided that they're not going to pay Baker. And I don't think they should, especially because with this roster, he can't really win with this roster. I can't expect him to win with a worse roster. So I don't know what to say about the Browns. They're kind of spiraling out of control right now.
And at 16th, we got the Vikings after a tough loss against the 49ers. Somehow, with a losing record, they have the last spot as the wild card team. And I expect them, to get back to 500 here. And I think they'll just dismantle that terrible Lions team. But
big Dalvin Cook injury, though.
Yeah. Alexander Madison is pretty much 1B for the Vikings with Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a difference, but realistically, he's one of the best backups in the league. So I don't really see the Vikings, hurting too much in the run game.
I'm with you there. At number 15, we have the LA Chargers. Kind of a tough, ugly loss against the Broncos this week, but I do expect them to get back on track against the Bengals. It's going to be a really good game, but I just expect them to get back on track because I trust Justin Herbert a lot, and I think that offense is really talented. So,
and at 14th, we got the Raiders, who made a big jump back up after that huge win in Dallas. If you watch the game, they shouldn't have won this game because Dallas kicked an extra point, and then Raiders were offside, so they decided to take it off the board and go for 2, and they didn't get it. And then Dallas also missed an extra point and a field goal. But, to their credit, the Raiders somehow still found a way to win, even in OT. And now they got Washington. And if they win this game, they could be, right in that AFC West, AFC wildcard playoff picture with, I think 5 weeks left in the season.
At number 13, we have the Indianapolis Colts. And I've been rocking. If you've been watching all the picks, I've been rocking with my Colts. Tough loss this week. Didn't look bad at all. They didn't look out of place. They battled. They led for most of the game, actually, against Tampa Bay. So I like staying at 13 ranking. This week they got the Texans. They should blow them out. Just keep feeding Jonathan Taylor that football, man.
And at 12th, we got the 49ers, who early in the season looked like they were done for. And now you got them in the wild card as the 6th spot in NFC. And now they get to go against Seattle this week, who's feeling all type of way, getting hurt, and just not a good year for them. And if if San Fran can pull off this win, 7-5 would be pretty good from where they were, in week 4 of our power rankings, I would say. Coming in at 12th, definitely a team that can move up really quickly, just based on how much talent they have on offense. And, they finally have all their backs healthy. And that's definitely something to look forward to going forward.
Just missing out on the top 10, we got the Tennessee Titans. It's a good week to have a bye week for the Titans because they just got dismantled against the Patriots, and I believe that's their second loss in a row. Have not been playing the best football without Derrick Henry. It's kind of obvious when you're missing your best player. It's gonna take some toll on you.
Mhm.
Now AJ Brown, I mean, he'll be out for a while, so you could see the Titans drop a lot in the power rankings over the next couple weeks.
And at cracking the top 10, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who just dismantled your Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't know, it's just going to be interesting to see how they handle the Chargers this week. You're going with the Chargers. I'm already probably going to go with the Bengals just because they've been hot. And I think it's really going to come down to who has the better defense. And I just believe that, yeah, the Chargers are a pretty solid team, but I just think the Bengals have everything clicking right now. And they got to keep winning to stay afloat in the AFC North, to have a shot at winning a division and not being one of those wild card teams moving forward, because it's always good to play at least one game at home in the playoffs.
Yeah. At number 9, we have the LA Rams. With that Packers game, it didn't look close. The final score was a one-possession game, but it just did not seem competitive at all, really, that whole second half. Packers just took the time of possession over and really just balled out that game. So Rams moved down 3 spots. Not too much. Still a Super Bowl contender, I'd say, but they got the Jags this week, so they should get a win as well.
And at 8, we got the Chiefs coming off their bye week against the Broncos. I think Andy Reid has like almost an 800 win percentage off of a bye. So I'm pretty much going to pencil him in for a win this week, move to 8-4 in sole possession of the AFC West. I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see because, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire back now. And, their starting running back is finally back. Obviously, that's a great thing for them. But they've found success with Darrell Williams as well. And even whoever the other running back was, I can't even remember. But the guy that played a little bit, he still was there. So, Mahomes has all of his weapons healthy, reloaded, off of a bye. I think this is only going to be great for the Chiefs and all their players moving forward. And I think the Chiefs, might end up with maybe one more loss at the end of the year, and just be right where everyone expected them to be at the beginning of the year.
And number 7, we have the Buffalo Bills. Big week this week against the Patriots. Winner basically will be in the lead of the division. I believe they play each other one more time, though, this year, so it's not over. But we do have the Bills coming at number 7. Number 6, we
got those Patriots. And coming off a huge win against Tennessee, I think they've ripped off 5 in a row. And I think, this team is not a team you want to play right now. Even the Bills with a solid team, they've kind of struggled, and you don't really know what Bills team you're going to get. So if you're picking games, I think the safe bet would be to go with the Patriots. Yeah, it's on the road, but I don't know. It's
I'm with you.
hard
I'm
to
with
pick
you there,
against a
actually.
team that's won 5 in a row. Seems like everything's going right for them. The week before this, they shut out the Falcons, still scored 25. Defense was excellent. This week, shut down Tennessee and scored 36. It's really just going to be interesting to see what this team is going to do over the next few weeks.
At number 5, we have the Dallas Cowboys. To your point, they should not have lost this game. And they also Dak was playing without Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, so it's hard to do when you're missing your 2 best receivers. Zeke didn't play particularly great. It was a tough loss, but this week I think they're going to get back on track. They're still one of the best teams in football, obviously, with their number 5 ranking. So not much of a worry, and they should get a win this week.
And at 4, we got the Ravens coming off an ugly 4-interception win for them. Lamar Jackson, I expect him to get it back on track against the Steelers. Should be, probably another low-scoring game, I would say. Something around 24-21, something around that ballpark. But, if they win this game, I think they just take it and run the division. At the Steelers is never easy, especially huge rivalry game, divisional rivalry. But if they can go in there, get a win, move to 9-3, I just don't see how they don't win the AFC North. With that defense being really good so far this year, and Lamar playing sometimes MVP caliber, sometimes like Sunday night, just probably his worst game of the year. But it's all about finding ways to win, and it seems like the Ravens are doing really well at that this year.
At number 3, we have the Bucs, and also with trying to find ways to win, the best that the Bucs did this week. Tom Brady didn't have his best game, but Leonard Fournette sure did. He scored 4 touchdowns, I believe. Really had a good game against the Jonathan Taylor Colts. The Colts couldn't really run the football as well, and that's why the Bucs won it. Also, Carson Wentz turnovers really hurt them. So Bucs, Super Bowl caliber team as always.
And number 2, we get the Cardinals. Unfortunately, they are moving down after a bye, not doing anything. Can't help it there. But they got in Chicago this week, and I think this is a game where it could be upset alert. Just because the weather probably won't be the best, and Arizona warm weather, practicing all week in it, and then going into cold Chicago, windy. I don't know. Maybe it could happen. Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll just pound the ball with James Conner and try to win it that way. But I don't know. I definitely like this Cardinals team here at 2, and definitely a Super Bowl contender moving forward.
Yep. And coming at number 1, we have your Green Bay Packers. Good win against the Rams. Also, the bye week this week is really huge to get Rodgers healthy. That turf toe, obviously, it was affecting him since he scored 36 points against the Rams this week. But the Packers are definitely the best team in football. They just do not have a weakness. They could throw it over the top against you, or they could go shoe clock, time of possession with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones and just win the game that way, just taking the ball away from the other team like they did this week against the Rams. So definitely the best team in football. But that'll do it for our power rankings this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Zach, anything else to say before we head out of here?
We got to 50 subs, so we're going to have to do that giveaway soon, though.
Yep, for sure. Until next time, Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.